Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to come out to share a little bit about what has happened at an airport since 9/11. And I think all of us have memories of where we were on 9/11. I happened to be in Montreal, Canada, at a conference. The Airports Council International was having their world conference, and virtually every airport director in the world was in Montreal when 9/11 took place. And all of us watched with great frustration from the conference hall as the events started to unfold after 9/11, with the airspace over the United States being closed down. And it literally took me 3 days to get home from Montreal. I took a couple of my board members. We had to end up renting a limousine and drive to Detroit, and then catch a plane from Detroit to get back to DFW Airport. But all of us were extremely frustrated, extremely anxious about how we were going to deal with such an incredible crisis. And our terminals were loaded with passengers. Our people had no place to go, but we had an incredible organization back home that took care of everybody and actually got everybody out either into hotels or to rental cars and got them on their way before the day was out. Well, I don't think there's any industry that has been more affected by the events of 9/11 than the aviation industry, and quite frankly, we're still reeling from the events of 9/11. The airline industry, for example, just between 2000 and 2002, lost about $23 billion. So, since 9/11, there's been about 151,000 airline jobs that have been lost as a result of just changes in our industry. You know, immediately after 9/11, we saw a dramatic drop in passengers. In fact, the first week after 9/11, we were looking at a 61% drop in passengers at DFW Airport. And when your revenues depend on passengers, that was a huge impact. And in fact, after the first year after 9/11, DFW in 2000 handled about 60 million passengers. We had lost about 7.8 million passengers the first year. That was about 10 years worth of growth for us. So we basically, prior to 9/11, everything we touched was turning to gold. The place was really cooking. The airline industry was starting to recover. When the events took place, of course, it was a major blow to our industry. Operations were down, cargo was down. We used to have a lot of mail shipped in the belly of airplanes, U.S. mail, but that's all gone away because of security concerns of 9/11. We also, we were in the process at the time. In fact, we broke ground on our new International Terminal D and our Skylink People Mover. We broke ground in August of 2000. So here we were, 1 year into the construction project. I had a boarded up West Tower of the Hyatt Hotel full of dynamite because we were ready to bring it down. We had to stop the project. We had to redesign a lot of things. I never thought ever in my career that I would be doing bomb blast analysis on buildings, but we stopped and we had to reevaluate how we were designing and constructing our terminals, how we were laying out our roadways, our parking, what kind of materials that we were using. We invested about $300 million after 9/11 to accommodate not only some of the physical changes to the building, but we also had to do a number of things to redesign our baggage systems so that bags could now be screened using CAT scan type of equipment that was just being developed at the time. So $300 million, baggage systems. We hired tremendous volumes of people to try to handle some of the security concerns. We now have actually a whole new department within our public safety, about 168 new people that we hired to handle some of the security requirements that took place. I guess the other part of the equation is that prior to 9/11, security at airports were largely contracted out to private companies. Not the highest paid, usually low bid type of situation. They were actually contracted out by the airlines. After 9/11, though, the federal government made a decision to take that function over, created the Transportation Security Administration, part of a larger organization called the Homeland Security Department, and the Homeland Security has a lot of the police type of organizations such as Customs and Border Patrol, and as well well as the Transportation Security Administration. They invested hundreds of millions of dollars in new equipment for baggage systems, for security checkpoint. TSA today has over 58,000 employees. They have over 1,200 employees at DFW Airport. We have slightly more than that work for the airport, about 1,200 people that work at DFW just to do the security checkpoints. There is a tremendous amount of things that have taken place over the last 10 years. I will say that the impact on airports have been rather dramatic. One of the maybe positive outcomes of it is that after 9/11, we were forced as an organization to really conduct our business a lot more precisely than we probably were prior to 9/11. If you can imagine, your revenue streams are coming in to support your operation. Back then, we were probably doing $1,200,000, maybe $1,300,000 a day in revenue. But 61% of your passengers gone, you really had to watch everything very, very carefully. We began to monitor every aspect of our business on a daily basis. We were able to actually become a lot better as a business, and there were some positive changes that took place as a result. And I look to the future, and I'll certainly, I know I have a time constraint here. There is some things that are happening right now that are somewhat positive. When you look at what's happened over the last 10 years, not a whole lot of changes have taken place, but there are some people right now that are focusing on some new procedures and new technologies. There's a known traveler program, for example, a risk-based security system or process that is trying to balance the need for security with customer service and taking a more reasonable approach. It will, though, require significant background checks. In fact, you have to subject yourself to pretty significant background checks, and they're focusing right now on frequent travelers. A lot of American Airlines frequent flyers are being asked to participate in this program, and this is something that we're one of the first airports to actually have this new program. We don't know all that will take place as a result, but we do expect to see some loosening up of the procedures at the checkpoint for those people who are willing to go through a background check and to subject himself to that. I personally think that's a positive step. It's something that's going in the right direction. I do think, too, that there is a lot of opportunity for technology to be enhanced, to be able to detect explosives and other contraband that people may try to bring through the airport. But there hasn't been a lot of really great developments, a lot of progress in this area for some time. So I am looking forward to the next 10 years to see what can be developed to be more foolproof, and also one that will be able to accommodate our customers as they come in and out of DFW Airport. So I guess to summarize, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, it has had a dramatic impact on our industry, certainly for airports. A lot of physical changes have taken place, a lot of operational procedure changes, and I think we run a great airport. A lot of people look at us as leaders in this area of safety and security. We were the first ones to introduce the inline baggage systems, which basically automated all of the baggage systems that brought the bags to the screening devices. But again, I think most people look at air transportation as a freedom. The industry is very resilient. We continue to have strong growth throughout the country. Today, we are not quite where we were in 2000. We do about 57 million passengers a year. Still trying to recover fully from the effects of 9/11. But I do think that there has been a tremendous amount of collaboration between the airport airlines and a lot of the federal agencies that are involved in security. It's a much more secure place, and we hope to see the passengers recover in the future. Thank you all very much.